Join us and the rest of the ASOTU More Than Cars crew for ASOTU's NADA Show Sessions, a podcast live from all the action.
We're bringing the best conversations straight to you.
Jen or Jennifer?
Oh, either actually.
Oh, don't give me that. Okay.
You can call me Jen.
Cool. Jen, thanks for having us today. We're sitting here at the Cars Commerce booth.
Yeah.
And you're probably responsible for a ton of this craziness as CMO, right? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. A lot of the things you see here, but really backed by an incredible team that they are pros.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you just told me the last thing you said before. You said, I'm a boomerang to cars.com.
Yeah.
Well, tell me what you mean by that. And then where were you? What does boomerang mean and how does that work?
Yeah. So I worked at cars.com from 2007 to 2010 when it was a startup.
Yeah.
I left for 12 years and came back in 2022 in this role.
Where was the 12 years?
I worked for Publicis Media, which is the largest media agency network in the Americas.
Wow. So that probably, I'm guessing, has influenced the last couple of years you here.
Yes.
What are the particular influences that have led you to make some decisions and movements with the team here over the last couple of years?
Well, as a starting point, Cars Commerce. When I joined, we had acquired a number of companies. We didn't have a parent company, a brand architecture, a name to rally the company and our go-to-market around. And we spent quite a bit of time debating what the name should be. Commerce as a concept right now is a huge topic. The rise of commerce media networks, commerce retail technologies. It's a very connected commerce is a really big topic that's happening in marketing circles right now and technology circles. And it was just honestly, it's amazing to me that nobody had grabbed the name Cars Commerce. We are building and have built the first connected commerce company for automotive. It was such a gift to be able to just call ourselves Cars Commerce. Just call it that.
Well,
and stake our claim
as a brand marketer myself, I'm like, I love the icons getting aligned and the colors all flowing through. It's just a fun brand to kind of watch the evolution of over the last couple of years.
I love how we're showing up here because it's exuberant.
Yeah.
And it has, that was like a career project to get to work on for this company, particularly since Cars.com was so near and dear to my heart already. I worked here
the early days. You knew what it felt like. It's grown.
But where I think that Boomerang piece of things gets really important is that when in my first tour, I was in charge of advertiser insights.
Okay.
Which really meant what are all the things that we know about our audience that would be relevant to our advertisers. That was in the mid to late aughts.
Yeah.
I know our audience so well. I have known this audience for so long, and it is.
I love how you talk. You almost say that in I could be in a room with them. I could tell you who they are. It's kind of neat.
Yes, and what's interesting is that as much as this industry has been and will continue to be disrupted, it's never a dull moment in auto. There is one thing that remains true, which is consumers will cross-shop. They are not brand loyal.
Yeah.
They're only in market every 5 to 7 years. They don't know what vehicles are available. They don't know what the latest model releases are. They're not tracking it.
Right, they're not tracking that we are every year to see what,
not at all. They're not immersed in
that.
Not
as a Gen Pop, right?
Absolutely not. And particularly at this moment where all the OEMs have overhauled their model lineup and EVs coming out, consumers just don't know. Consumers are re-educating themselves on the entirety of the model lineup. There's so many OEMs that have been deprecating certain model brands.
Right.
So the education need right now is really significant, and that's before you add in EVs.
Right.
So that's the thing that is so true about this audience, and it was true in 2007, and I'm sure it was true in 1970, is that the consideration set, and this is the only category that is like this, the consumer consideration set expands as they start shopping rather than contracts.
Yes.
They do not narrow down to start. They might have an idea in mind. They research that car. It's not the right one for them. They get turned on to a whole bunch of different other options. And only then do they narrow. And only then do they narrow to a dealer.
All right. This isn't on the cue cards, but I'm really because this is something that I've been really interested to. We, as an industry, have gotten really attracted to VIN-specific VDP marketing.
Yeah.
Have you seen a trend where that actually destroys the potential for shopping behavior to continue in this expansive nature? Or are you seeing places where that still works?
Well, I think that it does work to market the specific VIN. We have products. We launched a product last year called VIN Performance Media that does that.
Yeah.
But it all comes down to where is the consumer in their stage. It makes no sense to advertise a specific used vehicle VIN to a consumer who's just starting their journey of what car do I want.
Right,
That's not useful to them at that stage to know what VINs are available. They first want to know, okay, what happened with the transition from the Hyundai Santa Fe to the Palisade to the new Santa Fe that's come out.
Right.
I have a used Santa Fe. And so they're going to want to understand that, and then what are the competing cars, what's the difference between the Palisade and the Kia Telluride, for example. Getting a VIN-specific ad at that stage is meaningless.
Yeah.
Who cares?
So it's almost like a double pyramid. It's like it's narrow to wide, then wide to narrow.
Exactly.
Kind of yeah.
And that is why the marketplaces are so important. Because they need the depth of research, they need the depth of inventory, they need the ability to connect to a dealer, as much as portions of the process have moved online more and more.
Yeah.
And that'll continue. I mean, there's absolutely pain points in the process from a consumer standpoint that can be simplified. It's a highly considered purchase. Most people do not want to just buy a vehicle online. They want to go sit in it.
Yeah.
And that's particularly true for first-time car buyers. So I hear a lot about...
Interesting. Yeah.
I hear a lot about, Gen Z, they're going to fully buy online. No, they're not.
No, they're going directly to the retail solution. Yeah.
It's actually boomers who are more likely to buy fully online.
Why?
Because they bought multiple cars
They've
before.
Done that.
They've
they
done
know
it.
How to. Yeah.
It's the same thing. There's no first-time home buyer who buys a house sight unseen.
Right, you're right.
So it's much more like first-time home buyers than it is an Instagram impulse purchase.
Yeah. So obviously, when we think about like this whole retail solution, it's always who's going to buy the car. And you said, I know the audience so well. And I think the media network as a whole is really an effort to expose this audience to your dealer partners. Talk about how you're taking that audience and giving the access to the dealer partners through the media network and leveraging that for efficiency.
Yeah, and I will say it's humbling to me to be kind of the keeper of the audience. I'm responsible for acquiring them and my team, and responsible for how we expose them to our dealer partners, our OEM partners. We have just gone on a pretty lengthy journey to take a look at all of our different ad solutions that we offer on cars.com, as well as some of our audience extension products, and make sure that they are really tied to outcomes that dealers want. And I think that kind of gets back to your question about VIN-specific advertising and is it relevant? Yeah. Well, we have an answer to that, which is we have 4 products in our dealer media suite. We have a video product that is for building awareness. It's ideal for things like a new dealership opening, opening a new rooftop, something like that. If you wanted to rapidly acquire, if you wanted to tout your trade-in capabilities, that sort of thing, service drive, any of those things, and put that in a video spot.
Broad branding.
We can put that. Yeah, we can put that in living room video, and reach our real in-market car shoppers.
Yeah.
That's the important thing. It's a deterministic audience. It's not modeled. So that's for awareness building. We have display for consideration. We have VIN Performance Media, which I mentioned, which is a VIN-specific. We use AI to automate what VINs a consumer sees across search, social, and display, both on cars.com and off, and the whole thing is automated. And then we have a social media product called Cars Social. And the VIN-specific VIN Performance Media is designed to accelerate VDP views.
Right.
And Cars Social is designed to drive website traffic for the dealer.
Okay. Yeah.
So we have one for each because it should be simple.
Because you need all of those things and
the performance of the product should be tied to the outcome that you're trying to drive.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the brand piece really is incredibly important, and I think that performance marketing, frankly, just works a lot better when you've got a strong brand. Everything works better when you have a strong brand.
Absolutely, and we see you execute that on the consumer side as well. So,
yeah,
very
absolutely.
Cool. Well, Jen, thanks so much for
Yeah,
spending
thank
some
you for
time
having
with
me.
you. You've got a great energy, and we
Thanks.
love that you're caring for dealers and consumers and having to kind of
That's what's
massage all
important.
that together.
That's
Very
what
cool.
it is a testament to Alex Vetter that for 26 years we have done right by both sides of the marketplace consistently.
Very cool. Thanks, Jen.
Thanks.